Well, happy Father's Day to any fathers that may be watching or will be watching in the future. There's Mr. Corgi Man, Marlon. How you doing, man? Uh, so yeah, today I'm gonna do this little Gherkin build. This is a little 30% keyboard. It's got, I think, legitimately 30 switches. Uh, I don't anticipate this. Hey, look, Kelsey's here. Jerkin the Gherkin. Hey, Kels. I don't anticipate this taking too long because when I bought this from uh, a different guy, he had already put in all of the diodes and resistors, and he socketed the Pro Micro. So I don't really have to do anything other than put the switches in, but I don't want to just put the switches that I have in. I kind of want to lube the switches, so that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna lube these switches before I put them in here. Probably, honestly, will take the longest amount of time is lubing these switches. So this will be the most boring part, I'm sure, is watching me take apart all of these switches and putting them in these little guys so that I can lube them after the fact. How do I fast forward a stream? I do feel bad that you are about to watch me do this, because I can see why this might be boring. But you know what? You're a friend, and that's why you're here. Acquaintance. Sorry, not friend, acquaintance. I'm going to say that before you do. Yeah, tertiary monitor. I can't wait for the day that I become at least secondary monitor material. To be fair, Kelsey, I don't even think has me on her actual monitor at all. She's probably watching me on her phone, so I'm not even good enough for her actual monitor or any extra monitors she might potentially have. So, but she also has to see me every single day of her life, so can't really fault her for that. She's like furiously typing on her phone right now, trying to say something about I can bring my tablet. Don't demote me, please. Don't demote me. Sometimes all I have is your tertiary monitor view. Watch, look how fast this is going. This actually isn't the slow part. Taking them apart is easy. Especially if you have one of these little guys from KBD fans. Little switch openers. They make things significantly easier. And if anybody is ever going to lube switches or take apart switches, this is the way to go. I've done them where I've put them all apart with tweezers, and that's not fun at all. So it's probably worth it even if you're only ever going to lube one set of switches, including you, Marlon. You should take apart your GMMK and take apart all of your... actually, wait a second. What do you have? You have Gatoron Browns in your keyboard at home, right? Yeah, Gatorade Browns. So that's what these are. I assume that these probably look exactly the same as what you have with the clear housing, black housing on bottom, and then the brown. Yeah. So that's what I'm going to put into this little gherkin, except I'm going to lube them. So I feel like the stock, I almost said Gatorade switches. The stock Gatoron switches are a little scratchy. I know you can like only hear it if you, I don't know, if you get close enough, you can hear there's a bit of a scratch. Then you can kind of feel it. So lubing those will probably take away that little bit of slight scratchiness. But other than that, I'm sure you are doing just fine with your Gatoron Brown switches. I also still do. My offer still stands that when all of this COVID-19 stuff goes away and we like go back to work, you know, in a couple years, that I have a bunch of extra of those box white switches that you can have, so you can put some clicky switches in if you want. So if that doesn't get me promoted to secondary monitor, I don't know what will. If I was doing this with tweezers, this would take forever to take apart. You're on the step. Yes. Can't wait. That's what I judge my whole career on. So when I get to that secondary monitor. Uh-oh. Look at this bent pin. So how's your day been going, Marlon? What'd you do today? Nothing? Did you do anything fun for Father's Day as a father to your dog? Probably magic. Wow. Thanks, Jason. What? Iceland video? What are you talking about, Iceland video? Well, I know when you went to Iceland, but like, what are you gonna do? Like, cut together like a highlight reel from when you went? Like how Jason popped in here just to say, when I said, "What did you do today?" and he said, "Probably magic," and then that's it. That's all he said. Highlight. Yeah, that's cool. What are you gonna edit it in? You're gonna go full on video team. Oh, there you go, Premiere Pro. All right, that's what I'm talking about. God, these things are all bent. No, don't tell Chris to get in here, Jason. Yeah, then you guys are just gonna harass me. And my life will be... I guess it'll be no different than it normal is. Ooh, wait. So do you have a? Did you get a subscription to Creative Cloud then, or have you had one? CC sub. Sell out, man. Sell out to the Adobe machine. Although you can't really. I mean, you can do it in other things, but it is much easier to just get Creative Cloud and use that. Look at that. I'm almost gotten all these taken apart. And then it'll come to the slow process of putting them all back together after I lube them. Which I'm sure Jason, now that he's here and hearing me saying lubing a switch, will probably have something to say about me lubing something. Man, all of these pins are bent. I have to straighten all these out. Probably knock it. Yeah. That was not me. That was, maybe it was Marlon. Since Marlon's a mod, he might have flagged your speech as hate speech because you were being mean. Or it was probably just the auto mod because you said dildo and it did not like dildo. Yeah, he tried to... I don't know if you remember, Marlon, but when I built the... when I was trying to build that nightmare, and you asked me what my favorite thing was that I 3D printed, and he popped in and said something. I don't even know if it showed up. It showed up on my screen, but I don't know if it showed up anywhere else. But he tried to say dildo, and the auto mod got him. Yeah. Yeah, no, it was auto mod. I mean, it was funny, to be fair. Alright, that was it. 30 switches taken apart. Done. Alright. Much more effort than... Yeah, that's valid. I don't expect you to put in any real work into this, you know? Okay. Now here's the boring part. Oh, someone tried. Uh-oh. Somebody tried. Somebody tried saying dildo again, huh? I don't know why it won't let you say dildo. I feel like it should. Who am I to say that you can't say dildo, you know? The auto mod doesn't like it, not me. I said SS. What? It blocked the ass from A55? Oh, assist, I see. It blocked the... Really? That's bizarre. That's a little weird. I'm gonna bag lube these springs so I don't have to take a long time. Legit? What? That's weird. I don't know why it... Maybe I need to tone down the auto mod settings. Anyway, thanks for... Yeah, man, I'm glad you got that to work. That was one of the things I was really, really confused about whenever I was building mine was, you know, running that, the firmware from QMK Configurator Online, for some reason does not, it's not actually the default firmware. So, yeah, running it through, I'm glad running it through QMK Toolbox worked. Here's a question. What color LED did you put on your Navi 10? Survey says blue, yes. That's what I did too. That's what mine's got. I don't know if you can see it behind my stuff. There you go, blue. I feel like blue's the only right color for the Navi 10. But God, I'm glad it got worked out for you. I actually did not find that out on my own, by the way. I sent a Reddit message to oh yeah, dude. It took me a long time to like get those switches in the right spot. But yeah, I actually the guy who makes it, where is it? I can't remember what his name is. But the guy who designed the PCB, he's on Reddit, and I actually just sent him a message and asked him, and he told me that the default firmware should just work with insert. So that prompted me to try using Toolbox instead of trying to run it straight from the configurator online. I don't know why it's not the same, but it is what it is. Alright, let's see how much better these sound. Yeah, those sound better. Well, the good thing is if you've got a solder sucker, you can always pull back, desolder the switches since there's only 10 of them, and redo the switches. That's not, you know, the worst thing in the world. It's mildly inconvenient at best. But I don't even want to think about like people who don't use like an actual switch plate for more full size keyboards, because that seems like I would never want to have to desolder a bunch of crooked switches on like a full size, or even a 60% would be not very fun. Just to solder them back. It's one thing if you're going to desolder them to put in different switches, but I'm not about the idea of putting the same switches back. You know what? I don't know. When I first started, yeah, I can see that. Sorry you had to listen to my voice. I wish I would have known that you were playing a ranked Rocket League game, so I could have like acted like I was coaching you. But yeah, I don't know if like what your tools like setup looks like for desoldering, but I bought a super cheap desolder, like a solder sucker, for like $6 on Amazon, and it was not the way to go. Uh, like this guy right here was recommended to me, this engineer solder sucker, and I mean it works significantly better than that cheap one. The only problem I have with it, and maybe it's because I'm doing something wrong, um, is that I feel like I have to discharge all the little solder turds out of it after like every single switch, and I feel like it shouldn't be that way. I also don't know, so it could be that way legitimately. Oh, see, so I've never used desoldering wick. Um, so maybe that is. I could see that maybe making the case for why you are a little bit of more worried about burning the PCB out. Yeah, I would. I would say if you've got the budget for it, obviously, don't go out and do it if you don't have the budget. But I think this thing was like 20 something dollars, and this is much worth the money if you're going to be desoldering, or if you're going to be building keyboards at all. The possibility that you have to desolder something is good. So I don't know. I've never used desoldering wick, so I don't have probably not a good litmus test for what that looks like. But at least from a solder sucker standpoint, this is significantly better than like the one that I have back there somewhere is like a blue and silver one. So I would stay away from that blue and silver plastic one. So that I was gonna work my way up, um, like soldering iron wise, and my wife, who is probably somewhere in the stream right now, I got home one day and she bought me just one of the FX 88Ds, one of these, which it's pretty nice. I think it's I haven't had any issues with it. It heats up really really fast. So this is another one of those things that's like, I think this was like $100, and so this is one of the, they consider it a top tier ish soldering iron, but I know you don't have to go with that either. I know a lot of people lately, I don't know exactly which ones they are, um, have been using the ones that actually just plug straight into USB. I don't know what they're called though, but I've seen them a lot around. Oh gosh, these two springs are stuck together. Oh no. Yeah, I don't know exactly what they're called, but I've seen them. They're just ones that plugs into the wall. Oh, does it not have one of the separate like stations like this where you can control, anything on this? It's just the iron itself. Okay. Yeah, I know a lot of people have been into those. I wish I knew what they were called. They actually look pretty slick, but they're just one that plugs directly into like a USB, and it has like a digital readout on the actual soldering iron. And that I know I've seen a lot of people using those lately. So it seems like a lot of people like those, and I think they're cheaper than this one. I think those are about $50-ish. So that might be a route to take as well. But I admittedly have never had to suffer through a terrible soldering iron because I was fortunate enough for my lovely wife to buy me a nice one right off the bat. They look nice too. I really do wish I can remember what they're called, but I bet you can. I know you can buy them on Amazon. I would just look on Amazon for soldering iron, and look for one. They look like a pen almost, and they just have a digital readout right on the handle, and it looks pretty nice. So if I didn't have this one and I had a shittier one, then I probably would be getting one of those because they're significantly cheaper than this. But I've also never used those, so I'm not a good person to say whether or not they work well. But I don't know. A lot of people, it seems like, are using them, so it has to mean something. But what do I know? I hope Jason's still hearing me in his ear while he's playing Rocket League. I don't know how long it's taken me to do these 5 switches, but you multiply that by another 5, whatever long it took me, and that'll probably be how long it takes until I finally put these into the actual PCB. Sans any time it takes me to pull apart springs that got stuck to each other when I was bag lubing. I don't have any of those fancy soldering stations that everybody has. Any recommendations for easy to get keyboard kits is definitely yeah. So I know a lot of people will recommend like the KBD 75. I think it really depends on what you want. I mean, you've built a Navi 10, so I know that Keyhive is coming out with another kit here pretty soon-ish. What's it called? Oh, the Absinthe. Less than $300? Oh, yeah. Okay, so, I mean, really, I think, honestly, $300 is a pretty good price range. I mean, you can get a lot of stuff for under $300. I guess it just depends, like, what form factor you're looking for. Okay, there we go. 40 or okay, so let's see. I would right now the ones to find for a Plank's your daily driver. Okay. So I have a Plank as well. I'm trying to think like the Nightmare from Keyhive. The only thing about that right now is that if you wanted to get a 3D printed case, I know they're not 3D printing right now because of COVID and everything. But if you potentially have your own 3D printer, or you buy an aftermarket case for the Nightmare, it's a TM050 clone. I was building it last time I was streaming, and I think the PCB's messed up, so I have a new PCB, a replacement coming in for that. But that's like a 50% technically, so that's like a full-on, that's like basically what you did with your Navi 10, but you're doing it for 50 some odd switches instead of doing it for 10, so that could be a good one, and it's fairly cheap. The PCB for a Nightmare is like $30, and then if you catch them whenever they're doing 3D prints, it's only another $30 for the 3D print for the case. So you could get away with, for the PCB and all the hardware except for switches and stabilizers and keycaps, for $60, which is pretty good value. And the layout of the Nightmare is really cool too. You could do split spacebar, or you can do a 7U spacebar on that. Other than that, like, if you can get them when they're in stock, like anything from KBD fans is probably going to work pretty well, and it's not going to cost that much. But the problem is a lot of like the 40% boards, like I've got a Romeo, which I think is considered a 40% board from CFTKB, and that's what I use. That's my daily keyboard for work. But I know they sold out like super fast. They're the same ones that make the Disciplines, Those are all basically through hole kits that you do yourself. Those are pretty cool. Oh, is it? Okay, that's good to know. So that's another 40% board that I think has a decent amount of case options too, and that's pretty affordable. So that's good. Uh, Thanks for that, helpingly. That's very helping full of you. It's not good. It's Father's Day. I'm making dad jokes. Yeah, that's a good one. That's they don't actually. That's not KBD fans though, is it? Is that KP Republic or no? That is KBD fans. I'm thinking of something else. Yeah, that's right. That's KP or KBD fans. Yeah, that one looks nice. And I think it has all that underglow and stuff built in. If you're a fan of underglow and LEDs and stuff. Those look fun. I don't know what it is though. Is ever since the first one I ever built was the Romeo, which was much like all of these unassembled ones from Keyhive that I've done. And so I had to do all the resistors, all the diodes, the microcontroller, the crystal, the reset button, literally everything. And now that I've done that, the thought of doing and building another keyboard where all I do is just put switches in is like feels super unfulfilling to me. I like the idea of doing the unassembled things now because it feels like there's more substance to me doing more than that, which is a problem because the amount of unassembled PCBs and kits that people have is far less than actual assembled kits. So, but it is less work and less of a hassle to do the actual assembled PCBs. So there's that. I can see, and that's another thing. Like, I think there's a lot of ends of the spectrum, right? Hey, appreciate the follow. Thank you. Yeah, there's a lot of ends of the spectrum. Like there's gonna be people who don't want to even have to touch anything. Like I want a fully assembled keyboard to come to me, and I don't have to do anything at all, and that's like totally cool. And then you're gonna have people like me who are like, I don't want to build anything unless I can put in all of the diodes and the resistors and put every little part in. That's what's great about this hobby is I think there's a lot of things for every kind of person. You're not just stuck to one thing. Those are the hobbies that I think are really good, are the ones that allow you to have more than just one avenue to go down. But I can see that. Putting together like a full-on 60% keyboard with all of the diodes and stuff. I can see that. Yeah, and I think you're right. Like I think there are probably most people in the hobby in the community are very much like I can do, even if it's a TKL, I can do that many switches. I can do my 70 some odd switches and then call it a day, and it's perfect. Um, there's a lot more that can go wrong with unassembled PCBs. It's a lot more frustrating where if you get a assembled PCB in from KBD fans, you plug it in and you test all the switches and all the pads and it works, and then you can just roll. Whereas with something like an unassembled one, you have to put all the diodes in and put the microcontroller in, and sometimes depending on what it is, like with the Romeo, I had to solder in the USB-C port too. So like you have to do all this work just to plug it in, just to test it, and then God forbid anything's wrong with it, and then you have to either troubleshoot why none of the switches or a certain switch isn't working, or the whole PCB's bad and you wasted a lot of your time. So I can definitely see why that would be something that someone might not want to do. I think when I built that Romeo, I think it took me seriously 5 hours to do, and it was on stream because a lot of it was like me not knowing what I was doing, and like just hoping that I was getting things right. So, whereas a little something that's a little bit easier might take an hour, if that. I mean, this Gherkin, honestly, because the guy I bought it from, already did the diodes and the microcontroller and everything, like, if I wasn't lubing the switches, I'd be done with this already. So, yeah, 5 hours was not... I can't remember when I started, but I just remember being done, and I just felt like I was dripping sweat. But it was, I don't know, it's one of those things where at the end you're like super fulfilled, like, oh man, I just made this. And even though it's not like, I look at it, it's, I mean, I can pull it out so I can show you. But, like all of these diodes, this microcontroller, this quartz, the crystal, all these resistors, the LED, the USB port, the fuse, the button, I mean, literally everything. I look at this sometime when I'm working and I look and see like one of the diodes is like slightly off, and I'm just like I want to desolder it just to change it, but then I don't want to do it because I don't want to get, I don't want to mess it up because I really like this, and it's a fun little board to type on. So, you don't have to deal with that stuff whenever you're dealing with assembled PCBs because it's already done for you. So that makes things a lot less headache inducing. And that's okay. I don't begrudge anybody for wanting to just put a couple switches in and be done with it and make something that works. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like I just feel now like doing something where I don't have to do those. I just feel, I don't know. I feel like I didn't do anything. Maybe that was the problem, starting with that one. Should have started with something a little bit more basic, and then even this one this Gherkin feels weird. I was kind of hoping that the guy I bought it from didn't put any of the stuff in there, but these are cool kits. Like I do love Kosi Fanatucci's stuff from CFTKB. Like the Discipline 65 is really cool. I think he has the TKL that's called the Mysterium. That one's really cool, and they all have that exposed component look. I would recommend, like, even if it's just something like the Navi 10, which you do have to put all the diodes in, which there's only 10 because you only have 10 switches, and you have to put one resistor in and an LED, and then the switches. Like, I would recommend anybody that likes to put together keyboards and likes to build keyboards, that you do something like that where you actually are putting in some of the components, just to see if it's something that you would like to do. It's possible that it's not, and that's cool. Alright, I don't even know how many of these I have left. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Alright, I'm almost halfway done. Maybe it didn't take as long as I thought it was going to take. I know, these are stuck together. No, they're not. Yeah, I would say that's probably is the best thing. Like, given the fact that I don't get to put in the diodes or the microcontroller or anything like that, Yeah, I think that's the best thing. 30 switches is not that big of a deal to lube at all. Uh, and I mean, I don't know, I think the most I've ever lubed in one sitting is like 60. So even that's not bad. But, yeah, 30 is nothing. And these are also just Gateron Browns, so they're not like, they're not expensive switches. So I don't know, if I mess something up because I put too much lube or something in one of these because I'm going too fast, it's not that big of a deal. I think these are like, I don't even know how much. You could probably buy 10 of these for like $3 or something. But yeah, 30 switches aren't bad. What is everybody's favorite switches? That's the question. I'm always curious to know what kind of switches everybody likes. And I feel like everybody always has like 2 or 3 different favorite switches. Ooh, 200 of them? Oh my god. Are you just putting them in multiple things? Or are you just getting them all done so you have them for future builds? $200. Whew. 2 boards. Which boards do you have that you're gonna get them in? All right, right on. That's cool. Man, 200. You're gonna do them all tonight? You're a glutton for punishment. 200 switches? Ugh. I don't even want to think about that. I think I did those. I don't even know. I think I spread like 80 switches out over a week because I didn't want to do them all in one night. Which ones are they? Are they the blacks? Yeah, black inks. Endgame switch. Right on. I still haven't tried the black inks yet. I know a lot of people compare them to NK creams, and I really do like NK creams, so I will, I'm sure, get some black inks at some point in the future for sure. But yeah, especially if you found a switch that you like, why not buy a ton of them and, put them in every board that you like? Nothing wrong with that. Oh yeah, I will for sure. The next time, I don't know what board I'd put them in. Like for things like this, like I feel like I didn't really want to put like really 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 nice switches in something like this because I know that I won't use this all the time. This will be like, I'll probably find some sort of I don't know, some sort of use for this. So at some point, but like, I don't want to put any really, really good switches and things that I'm not going to use. So if I could see putting them in the Absinthe from Keyhive when that is available. They're like TKL-ish board that they're going to be coming out with soon. I would do that. Yeah, I don't. There's no way I'll use it as a daily driver. I was, I actually saw somebody on Reddit not too long ago who they have a plank, and they used their plank as like a extended macro pad, and I could see that being a kind of a really cool use case for the Gherkin, is just set it up as a extended macro pad for whatever you want, especially if you're using like me and I have a 40% board that I use on the Romeo that I use at work. I could see using the Gherkin for something like that, but who knows. Yeah, I can see that for sure. That 40% is like a little bit too small for a lot of people. I know. I mean, at the end of the day, some people are just like, I just need numbers, and having to hit, another key and then hit other keys just to get numbers. And then if you want to put symbols, like now I have to hit a shift key with that, or have like another specific layer. Like I could see that. I think I kind of forced myself into it, honestly, because I wanted to buy the Romeo so bad and build it. And I mean, I was using a plank before then too, so I was kind of used to that. But I kind of forced myself into it because I don't know. I kind of felt like, well, if I spent the money on it, I'm going to use it. So, but yeah, I could see that. If I wouldn't have bought it, I probably would still be 60%. I love 60% boards. I think 60% for me is probably the perfect size of everything you need. I know people will say 65% is more so, but I don't care about arrow keys for the most part. I don't really care about navigation. I don't care about function. I don't care about the number pad. Yeah, actually, one of my mods is one of my coworkers, and he can tell you how much people make fun of me at work for the keyboard, like the keyboards that I have and the ones I've used. I don't know. I built this Romeo actually. I think I built this Romeo like during quarantine, technically. So I don't know that they've seen, like they saw my plank and I have a Prionic as well. So they've seen those, and yeah, they make fun of me a lot. The running joke now is like I think I started with a full size board, and then I went down to a 60% board at work, and then I went from the 60% to the 50% in the Prionic, then the 50% to the 40% in the plank, and now I've got the Romeo, which is a 40%. So I think the running joke now is like, how small can I go? And so I'll be lying if I said that that's not part of the reason I wanted to buy a Gherkin, just so that I could play into it a little bit. And then I really, really, really want to buy a butter stick. Like, I would like to go 10% down. Ooh, pain 20. Yeah. So, yeah, I want to get the butter stick, which I think is 20%. And then, like, I don't know. One day I'll do something where it's... I mean, I have one of these little milk 2 keys. Like, one day I'm sure people will be making fun of me, and I'm just going to go plug this into my desk and have it sitting there when everybody gets there, just to play into it a little bit more. But yeah, I actually do want to get a butter stick so that I can get made fun of a little bit more. I think the butter stick is... I think that might be an assembled PCB. I think all you have to do is put switches in on that. Maybe I'm wrong. I haven't looked at a butter stick in a long time. Oh, I don't know why I did that first. The monotony of doing switch lubing is already getting to me. I'm surprised okay, yeah, so the butter stick is... See, now I'm starting to think about it. Do I really want to do it? If I can't put the diodes in, that'll be fun. I think the butter stick would be a really fun build just to have. You know what I wish people did was make do a lot more case options for stuff like this. Like, there's not many case options for the Gherkin. There's not many case options for like super super small form factor PCBs. Like, you either have to get them made, you know, like bespoke and get someone to just cut acrylic for you or machine some aluminum or something for you. But I think that people would I think people would buy some different case options for the small form factor PCBs. I mean, I would. I actually did see the knife case for the butter stick. Can you, I don't know, can you buy that though? Is that like something you can actually buy, or is that like something that some guy just made himself? But that wasn't actually a really good, that was a good case. I don't know if I'd want that kind of a case, but it is a cool case. I do love the creative cases people come up with for stuff. What? Was it an actual group buy for it? Are you kidding? I just saw the picture of it. I thought someone just randomly made it. That's awesome. I can't imagine that that was cheap. Did that go in the right way? I can't imagine that that would be that cheap. Oh yeah, that's off. Big time. Yeah, I could imagine that it was pretty expensive. I mean, it was cool. It really would have been. See, and that's like part of the fun. I'm all about buying a keyboard just because it's a meme. Yeah, I can't imagine that the knife case would have been like even somewhat affordable. It had to have been at least $200. Maybe I'm exaggerating, but and you talk about like somebody doing something like that. Oh shit. You talk about someone doing something like that for, I don't know, even say $100, it might be worth it. Maybe not $100. I'm rethinking that now. I don't think I'd do it for $100 either. $250. It came with an apron. What did the apron have on it? An apron. That's pretty funny. Just a picture of the board, like a graphic of it. Nice. I mean, if you're already spending $250 on like a badass knife case for your butter stick, you have to go with the apron too while you're at it. I think anybody who bought the case and didn't buy the apron didn't deserve the case. You're already spending $250 on the case. You might as well spend near $300 to get like the whole package. I'm not saying I would. Only because my wife is in the chat. But if I was going to spend $250 on a case, I'd spend $40 on the apron. Hypothetically, of course. I feel like I can hear her typing. From upstairs, I can hear her typing. Gonna say like, no you wouldn't, or LOL, or she's just not listening anymore. Yeah, when I got this Gherkin, I was actually looking for like if there was any fun case options other than just like the little like PCB material uh, plastic that they had, and there was like somebody who's working on some acrylic case, but it's like not done yet. Oh yeah, no, she's I actually just built her a PC like I don't even know how. Yeah, see she actually does want. She's been saying that she wants me ever since I built her the PC that she wants me to build her a cute keyboard. So like every time I see keycaps or something that she would like, I will. I'm gonna do it, guys. I'm gonna do it. Every time I see keycaps, I always send them to her. I actually bought her a desk mat from the key company that should be coming in like next month, I think, because I know she would like it. I'm just waiting for the right thing. Yeah, I am cheap. That's true. Yeah, but the thing is if you tell me to do it, I'm probably gonna do it. Like, I still do plan on making you a keyboard. And it's gonna be nice. Right now, she's got a shitty... What do you even have? I can't remember what it is. It's some pre-built, like... It's a TKL, which I felt like a TKL would be good for her so that she still had arrow keys. But I know she doesn't care about having the number pad. So I think the TKL is a good one for her. Yeah, tell me Kelthith. Kelthith? Oh, Oh, okay. He bought a candy bar for his wife just so he could justify spending more. That's awesome. Yeah, our house, we own a house that someone's renting in New Mexico, and I just got a picture from our property manager the other day, and allegedly a bird flew into the window, and there's this huge gash chip thing out of it, and it's like, I think the window's like 5 feet by 4 foot or something. It's like a huge window. It's gonna cost so much to replace. And I don't think they can do it like they do Safe Light, like where they just go to it and like stick up some resin or something inside of it and suck out the air. I don't think it works like a windshield. Because if it did, I would totally do that. Your keyboard's fine for now. You don't use it enough to need like a really, really nice keyboard yet. Alright, I got 3 more. How'd this get all cockeyed? There we go. Yeah, see, I think that's a good plan, helpingly. Like, just build like a super, like a more expensive keyboard than what I have for her. And then as soon as she's into it and she likes it, well, now I get to get whatever I want. Just buy like a, I don't know, buy like a, like one of those Space 65s off of Mech Market for like $900. Just build it for her. Yeah, she definitely needs something for Dead by Daylight. A cute Cody original. Yeah, I could buy a super expensive keyboard kit, and it'll still be me building it for you. Tall order. Tall order because of what? Cute Cody? Is that what you're trying to say? Are you trying to say I'm not cute, Marlon? Yikes. I knew that's what you were saying, and I knew I shouldn't have asked because I knew how I was going to feel about it. But I thought I could get over it. And turns out I do feel the way I thought I was going to feel about it. I'm hurt. Thought you always said that I was more than just a pretty face. Now the truth comes out when I offer you some box white switches for your keyboard. Slipping. Dang it. Thought I was working my way up. It's the whole point. Alright, last one. Oh, I see. I'm working my way up to the secondary monitor. I wonder if I'll ever be your primary monitor. That would be insane. To be anybody's primary monitor, not just background noise. Even my own kids would, if they had computers, would put me on their secondary or tertiary monitor. Alright. These are done. That was all under an hour. Well, yeah, it was under an hour. Okie doke. I'm gonna turn on this. I'm almost out of solder. I need more. Okay, so one thing that I know I need to do here is I actually need to pull something I didn't know until I was looking into the Gherkin was that they actually recommend that you socket the microcontroller so that you can pull it off because there is two switches that are underneath it. So I gotta see if I can actually pry it off without breaking it. I think I can. Seems like you can. Oh god. Yeah. Oof. I bent the pins a little bit, but that's okay. Those can easily bend back, because I think they're just diode legs. Yeah, that's easy. I feel like I should also flash this now, but I know it works, so I'm not even going to worry about it. Okay. Let's put a couple of these switches in. See, okay, so Ethan, I was actually talking to Kelsey about this the other day, and she was saying that she felt bad when we play because thinks she's so bad at it that we don't like playing with her at all because we're better than her. And I said that that's absolutely not the case. That me and you both had to learn, and we have like 400 hours in the game, and we're still not that great. Actually, me and Ethan were talking about you last night, Kelsey. We were playing some guy on our team who had like 85 hours. And I said, well, I guess we shouldn't expect that much out of this person, given that they don't have that much time. And then I said, well, Kelsey doesn't even have 85 hours, and at least she understands like the concept. Like, she might not be able to loop the killer or get chased for a long time, but, you know. Oh, that was Ethan then. I'm just rambling on about it. Ethan was actually sitting there making fun of her. Can't believe it. What an asshole. Alright, let me try and get these puppies in. Oh, those all went in pretty easily. Alright, I think I might actually solder those in right now to keep that PCB on. Liar. It's just Ethan being an asshole, not me. Why am I a jerk? Why did this turn around on me? It's true. And then the person we ended up playing with was obviously a Smurf. Because they knew what they were doing and they still were terrible teammates. So at the very least, we can count on you, Kelsey, to like pull us off hooks and do gens and stuff. You know? I feel like I am on trial here for something that I didn't even do. Let me make sure those are coming along, girl. Whoa, calm down there. Yeah, see? See Marlon trying to kill me? Alright, those are in. Saved by the grace. Are you saying Kelsey is my grace? How did this turn into us talking about Dead by Daylight? I mean, I say that looks pretty good. Pretty flush. Yeah, but you save people too. You don't just do that. Alright, I need to add a little bit more solder to those. Yeah, no, we can... Kelsey assumed I was making fun of her. Nah. I'd much rather have somebody who, like, even though they might not be the most amazing, I'd much rather have somebody in that game than some of the people we play with, like, now. Like, where we play with people who they don't... Like that last night, we played with this person who was a Smurf, but I got hooked. I feel like I got hooked fairly early. Maybe not fairly early, but I ended up dying on that first hook because this person was running towards me, and then they just gave up and decided they were going to instead do a gen. And then I'm pretty sure they said that I was trash at the game because I didn't know how to do gens properly or something like that, so... Whatever. They probably weren't wrong. Yeah, Ethan just wants you to have the best things, Kelsey. Why are you being such a jerk about it? Okay, this is the weird thing. So I wonder... Socketing this thing is so weird. Like, I never have thought about doing that where when you clip off the diode legs, you basically solder the diode legs as like a weird pinning, so you can just put it in there anytime you want to and then take it out so that you can mess with the switch. I think that's... I'm surprised that that other people in build guides don't recommend you do that, because I think that's just such a smart idea. Especially with how bad Pro Micros are. You get a bad Pro Micro, or it's notorious for the USB micro USB falling off, the port falling off, like... I could make life a lot easier. Oop, that's bent. Is that up all the way? Always ensure that you have clipped your switches back into the correct position when you lube them. Alright, well, assuming that the Pro Micro is good, which I assume it is, I probably should flash it before I put it in. I probably will. I really don't want to have to, like, pull it off. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Ooh, that's bent, that's why. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna sneeze. No, I'm not. I'm fine. Nobody say bless you. Because I didn't sneeze. There we go. Blesseth thou. That's more like it. That says it with the respect that I deserve. Obviously. Who would have thought that putting 30 switches in was going to take this long? Whoop. Slightly bent. I mean, I'm not going to fault it too much. The guy I got this from was like, I need to get rid of these switches, so I'm just going to give you these 30 switches. So it's not even like... Not even like these were like super great switches that should have been... Oh, that's bent. Six left. Let's make sure they're straight before I put them in. Nope. Ooh, that's really bent. It's like right on the little hang. It's like a tiny little spot here. That's terrible. You gotta like bend it off perfectly there. How did that even happen? Where's this little thing? I gotta bend this back. When I was trying to pull that Pro Micro off of that Nightmare last time, I bent these things to hell. Trying to use it as like a pry bar. There we go. I should be able to fix this. Yep, yep, yep. Alright, now I'm just going to make sure it's in the right spot here before I... Okay. Okay, how does this make sense? 1, 2, 3, 4... 3 switches. He gave me 31 switches! What a madman. Let's find the worst one out of all of them. Those are all pretty good, actually. Alright, I think this is the worst one. This is between this one and this one. Alright. Put that one over there. 31 switches. What a man. Okay. Oh, that's gonna bend. I can feel it. No, it's not. Don't be stupid. Oh, God. Yep. I broke that. It wasn't fully down. Alright. Nope. Good thing I had 31 switches, guys. Good thing I had 31 switches. Because I broke this one. Maybe not broke, but it's not good. Alright, let me make sure all these are flush. Alright, just give it a quick check to make sure all the... Oh, that one's not coming out. Why is... They must have gotten bent through. Okay. Oh yeah, look at that. That got bent. Let's try this again. Alright, now they're both in. In. I'm gonna play Dead by Daylight on this, guys. Alright, that's all of them. Time to solder these puppies. Make sure there's enough solder on these. I guess you don't need a lot. I think this is going to be done in like... I should have all these switches soldered in the next few minutes. Going for a record. Then watch the Pro Micro is going to be all messed up. I believe that it won't. You just have to believe. Not bad. Not good either. These solder fumes smell good. Alright, first row done. I'm a little worried about getting these ones right inside this little socket here, but let's see what I can do. You need like a... You need somebody who doesn't have early onset Parkinson's. Ugh, that's so hard to see. It's actually, is that through? Yeah, it is. Okay. I'm gonna get in trouble for saying that, I'm sure. Stop smelling the fumes. Yeah, man, getting high off solder fumes. What's the worst that's gonna happen? I get cancer? I'm probably gonna get that anyways. I'm not really smelling it. I'm holding my breath when I'm doing it. But you kind of smell the aftermath after a little bit. It's kind of like an oaky afterbirth. Getting high. What the hell's wrong with you, Marlon? Ooh, that's not enough. Alright, almost done with the second row. Alright, second row's done. Technically only have 8 switches left to do because I already did the corners. Coming down the home stretch. Now's when you start to get sloppy because you just want to be done. And last switch. Okay. Let me check to see, make sure that they're all good. There's spots where I put a little bit too much, but all in all, not bad. Okay. So all switches are in. I'm going to flash this Pro Micro now. Let's open up QMK. I'm just going to flash the default Gherkin because I don't really have any other thing to do with it right now. Okay. I'm going to put it into auto flash and look for these. All right, where's the ground and reset pin here? Oh, I don't even know. Oh wait, there they are. They are ground, raw. There they are. They're on this side. They're these two. All right, let's see if I can get them. Flashing complete and disconnected. One LED I think is good. Okay. Now I have to sit this back in here. I feel like it should be fairly simple. Oh, okay, yeah. Shove that down in there. Okay. All switches are in. And the microcontroller is in. I believe this is up. I don't know. What I'm going to do first is I'm going to test the key switches just to make sure that they work. And I will put that on screen for anybody to see. Okay. So I'm going to plug this guy in. I'm getting a red light, which I don't like, but I guess we'll find out. This should be A. Oh, that's enter. M? What? Oh, no, this is the right way. Okay, so this is technically enter M, and so this should be Q. QWERTYUIOP. And this is what? Shift? No, that's the escape? That's bizarre. A, Z, X, S, D, C, V, F, B. Oh, that's backspace. That's space. That's G, H, J, K, L. Okay, where? How do you do B? Is it a hold? Seriously, how do you do B? I don't even know. Well, all the switches work, but I need to look at a key map for the Gherkin because I don't understand where your B is. B is layer 3? What? Did I not touch that one? Is that why? I might not even have touched it. Watch that be the reason. No, that's N. M, N. Oh, there's B. I wasn't touching it. Okay, I mean, there's everything else. All right, that's everything. That is good. Oh, I'm going to have fun messing with this. All right, I'm going to take this off. And I'm going to put this piece on now. All right, this shouldn't take too long. Which side looks the nicest? Whatever. I think these are standard-ish standoffs. Standard-ish standoffs. sure this is the right. Ugh. You know what's worse than anything in the world is doing stuff with this small of a screw and it not being magnetic. Okay, I don't need my soldering iron anymore. That's done. So, my best bet here is to put some screws in the corners and screw these on. I'm really bummed out that I didn't get to do the diodes and everything. And there's actually resistors on this already that the guy I bought it from put resistors on for LEDs if I was ever to put them on. Luckily, given that that Pro Micro is socketed in a way that I can basically pry it off, I think it shouldn't be too hard if I ever wanted to put some white LEDs or something in there to do it. I don't really want to do it right now, but the resistors are in, so that's nice that I don't ever really have to worry about. I guess the best thing to do is to literally put a screw and standoff on every single one of these holes just to start off. But yeah, it's kind of cool that this small of a board has support for LEDs. I don't think it's support for RGB LEDs. Which, if you're going to put LEDs in something, why not do RGB? But maybe you can. I don't know. I don't know enough about this PCB to know if you can actually make it RGB. I'm just assuming you can't. There's so many standoffs. Watch there be one less standoff than I need. Ugh. If you can support LED, you might as go. That's right. I'll stick to that. That'll be the hill I die on. If you're gonna support an LED, you might as well do RGB. At this point, no, I don't know how many people just want like one standard color, you know? But I think these are just like little through-hole LEDs you could throw through there, and I don't think they support RGB. I think it's whatever color you put in is whatever it would be. So obviously, white would probably be the best color so that you had some sort of a, I don't know, that backlight's a little bit easier to see. The full colors of the wind. Okay, Pocahontas. I think I have more standoffs than I actually need. Which is, I'm not complaining. I have more... It'll be the screws I don't have enough of. I don't know, we'll see. It's okay. Having a couple extra standoffs is nothing to be mad about. As long as the people he sold these other kits to weren't shorted standoffs. And if that's the case, sucks for them. Let's get these corners in. Opposite corners. Okay. I just gotta put the rest of these screws in. Actually, I'm gonna get these corners in before I put this down. It is a little annoying that these screws aren't magnetic. Is that first world problems? And I'm like complaining about not having magnetic screws. Like, can magnetic screws be that much, like, more expensive than regular screws, you know? At this point. I'd like to know the cost analysis for including non-magnetized screws. These, yes it is. You don't know. Where are your credentials, pal? I need to know your credentials before I take you blindly at your word. I'm eagerly awaiting. Ah, see, if this was magnetized, it wouldn't have almost fallen out. I think I am going to have more screws and standoffs than I need. That's nice. Oh, whoops. Well, that's on the ground somewhere. Hopefully Bennett doesn't. Don't let Bennett come back here. There's a screw on the ground. I'm going to get yelled at, aren't I? I can feel the typing coming. You better find it. You better find that screw. Oh, yeah, it is a first world problem. You're right. Now, that was more a rhetorical question that, of course, it's a first world problem. Some people are worried about not having clean drinking water, and my entitled ass is worried about not having magnetized screws. So, yeah, you're right. That's valid. I don't need credentials for that. I take it back. Alright, now I'm going to enlist everybody who's currently in chat to tell me what kind of keycaps I should put on these. Because I have 3 different ones that I can put on here. Given that it's just the alphas, essentially. I think, just the alphas. Alright. There it is. Much like the Maypad, where it's made with just basic standoffs and... It's pretty cool, pretty nice. I'm gonna save these. I've got 4 extra standoffs and a bunch of extra screws. That's very nice to have. There's a screw on the ground somewhere that I'm sure my son will find and eat. Oh god, now there's 2 screws on the ground. I'm having a hard time here. Oh yeah. That's okay. I'll find them. I have a magnet that I can just run along and find it, I bet. I bet if I looked hard enough, I could find him now. Like with a little flashlight. Just kidding, I can't find him. Maybe they fell in my chair. Nope. Actually, they might. That's okay. I'll find them. I will find them eventually. Okay. Let's very quickly find what this is supposed to look like so I know what I'm putting on there. Alright, this is pretty cool. Alright, so it's just the alphas. There's like backspace and shift, I think, but it's mainly just alphas. Alright, what do I do then? So I've got these black ones that are blank on the top, but they have side printed legends. You know, I don't even want these ones. Do I? Nah. Meh, do I? What's this? Yeah, I don't want the white ones. Okay. So black or gray? Gray with white legends on top, or black with no legends except for on the sides? What do you think? What does everybody think? Black with no legends. Okay, I'm in. Yeah, no, I'm in with that. I'm in. I can get behind the no legends. Okay. Oh yeah, this is gonna be interesting. All right, QWERTY. I love it. Thank you for the suggestion. I'm in. You never really realize how stupid you are until you're trying to put keycaps on a keyboard and you're trying to remember what which ones go where. Oh, the B's weird, isn't it? Enter NMB. Because it's split. Yeah, that's right. Actually, the black with side printed legends is that was a good call. I think that's gonna look cool. Z, I'm assuming, is all the way on the left. I just need to pull up a picture here. There we go. That'll help. R. K. Too many numbers. Why do I have a random V down here and decided to never do anything with it? I am going to have to put random keycaps, though, for the couple of these that I don't. It's like, I mean, it's ortholinear, so... Like, the escape, I believe, is here. It's just going to be so weird. Probably end up... I mean, if I ever even actually use this as a... like, an actual keyboard... very likely we'll be remapping it for something else. There's no way. Even on a plank, like, at least it's somewhat, I don't know. I feel like it's easy to get used to. I'm sure this would be easy to get used to. AS X. I'm gonna have to decide. Oh no. Alright, it's good. Alright, where am I missing these? This is the right size for something. Maybe a space bar. I feel like I should be finding... D? I'm seriously, what? What, 4 away? And technically 1... Oh, whoops. This is in the wrong spot, too. thought that said N. It did not. P N. Okay. So this is enter. That's space and shift. So these, all three of these have to be something random because I don't actually have the keycaps for that. So I guess I just need to pick. They need to be the same height though. It's like slightly smaller. The escape key's not. Who cares? Okay. That's them. Some cheap side printed legend keycaps. You know what I'm gonna do? I have this artisan over here that I'm gonna use because it's not being used. I might as well use it. And that'll be for my escapes. I don't know what that is. Ooh, come on, baby, go on in there. It's like tight. Maybe. There we go. All right, that's it. That's the Gherkin. Honestly, it was a semi-easy build. I mean, even if the diodes and the resistors and the Pro Micro wouldn't have been done already, I don't know that it would have been that big of a deal. I mean, there's 30 diodes, 30 resistors. I think the biggest thing would have been trying to figure out how they socketed that Pro Micro. Yeah, I couldn't. I don't know. I'm gonna mess with. I'll be honest. I'll probably try and use this tomorrow at work, just to try it out for a bit to see. But yeah, I mean, this isn't gonna be what I use all the time. But yeah, it does look cool. I think it's a cool little build. I am a little sad that I didn't get to do more in the realm of, actually being able to do the diodes and stuff. But even still, I mean, that was not that bad. No real hiccups. So that was good. That's fun. I think that's all. Now, the next stream I'm gonna do, I should be getting my replacement Nightmare PCB, so I'm going to do that one. I've been waiting to do that one for a long time. Regilicious, who is one of the people who helped design that PCB, has been stopping by the stream every so often. So I always like when he's here for those kinds of streams. But yeah, that'll be my next plan, is doing the Nightmare. So I've been super excited for that. I've had that planned out for way too long, and the last PCB was not working well. So yeah, that'll be my next build. I don't know when I'm gonna do it. I don't know when that PCB is supposed to be here, but I also have another macro pad, the May pad from Keyhive, that I want to do. I think I'm just gonna make that a number pad, just for the hell of it. And then I also have a Romac that I am just waiting on somebody who's cutting me some acrylic for the acrylic guard for all the components, and then I'm gonna do that as well. So I've got 3-ish, and then who knows, I'm always looking to buy little PCBs and stuff like that. So, yeah, anyways, appreciate everybody who stopped by and anybody that followed. Thanks for keeping me company and watching me build this little guy. And I hope you guys hang out for the next one. All right. Appreciate it, guys. Take it easy.